I'd like to introduce Rishabh, who's a part of our program team. Rishabh will be taking a very important topic today. It's basically study anywhere, anytime, uh, and how. So because this program is online, we wanted to ensure that you guys understand how best to capitalize on the fact that the program is online. It's, I mean, it's maybe a different animal for you guys. You've not dealt with this before, but the fact of the matter is learning online gives you a lot of advantages as compared to going to a physical class, sitting in a classroom. And sometimes when you're not really interested to sit, you are forced to sit into a classroom and all of that. But Rishabh, who's an expert, will take you through how exactly to navigate this online learning mechanism. Okay, over to you, Rishabh.
Thank you so much, Jacob.
Sure.
Yeah, so hello everyone. I hope by now you have a bit of a slight interest about this program and it will grow in the eventual coming days. So in this thing, I would like to point out like what are the best practices for effective online, like as a student, like what all you can do. So quickly, I'll go to my slides. I'll share my screen. Yeah, I hope the screen is visible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So like Jacob said, there are some like challenges as well as there are some things which will give you the best experiences of online learning experience, like which will in the sense like when you go through online classrooms, it is not like how you used to do in your other courses, other programs in your school life. So it will give you the best of both worlds. So it will help you like get accustomed to courses which are fully online, which are digital. So as digital nomads, which essentially tells you that you can study from anywhere, but it has like its own techniques. So in order to get the best classroom experiences, like what you can do is you can go through the online courses. Now how to deal with those online courses, because till now you have been going to classrooms, you have been seeing your faculties offline, you have been able to interact with them, you have seen your batchmates. So once your batchmates are there, you can have a discussion with them, like you are stuck in a project, so you can just discuss it with them. But now it's entirely different, it's online, you don't know what you're facing, right? So for that, what you have to do is you have to be very active online. And by online, I don't mean you have to be active on Instagram. You have to send requests to your batchmates. You have to like do some other stuff. No, nothing like that. By online, we mean strictly based on this activities which we'll do in our IMBX platform, and also some of the offline activities which we might do it at a later point in time. So there are some tools which I'm sure will help you, and I'm sure you will be able to make the best of whatever we are giving you guys. So yesterday and day before yesterday, we got many questions. So the questions included things like, can we manage two simultaneous courses, or is devoting 12 hours of a week possible, or how do we manage the time? So as you guys know, like you will be required to devote at least 12 to 14 hours per week, which essentially is like 2 hours every day. So devoting 2 hours every day doesn't seem a lot. Like if you are watching Instagram reels, it just goes on and your 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, it just flies by, right? So how do you do that in IMBX? How do you do that in a span of 3 years? How do you make it the best way possible to go ahead? So they are some of the tools and techniques which can help you do that. So the next slide. So one of the most important things is like the creation of a structured, okay, creation of a structured calendar. So like once you get the calendar from our end, you can create a calendar for yourself. You can know what time you will log in. Something is happening. Okay. Yeah. So you can, once you get the calendar from your end, calendar from our end, you can create a calendar from your end, which will essentially mean that you can create like which are the live classes, and every day, what time of the day you will be giving to it, what time of the day is best for you. Suppose someone is doing some night shift college, someone is doing some evening shift college. So you will have different times of studying, right? So you will have a structured calendar. You can use tools like Notion, which gives you a great platform to do that. Secondly, you have to be present in the online discussions because batchmates are the best way of getting information. Suppose you miss one class, so what happens next? Or suppose you have some doubts in some courses. Suppose some topics just go over your head. It happens, right? It happens to me all the time. I'm getting to know something and it just goes over my head. So, what was being taught in that? What was the main gist of the whole thing? Just you can post your comments in the discussion forum, which we have in all the courses. So like that you will have a active participation also, and it's always good to have active participation, which will make you stick with the courses throughout the span of 3 years. Then what you can do is like I'll like to ask you one thing. Have you heard of this technique which is called Pomodoro technique? So this technique is basically which tells you that you have to manage your time in a chunk bits of 25 minutes each. So suppose you get to study for 25 minutes and then you take a break. So you know exactly what you're studying in those 25 minutes, and then you take a break of suppose 5 minutes, and then you go to the next module. You go to the next part of your course. So like that 25 minutes will also might be based on projects. The 25 minutes you might be fully indulged in projects. It might be you are fully indulged in the videos. So you need to break it up into bite-sized chunks. So that's like we already try to give you bite-sized chunks when we are giving you the courses. So the courses will always have something which will keep your attention span going. The videos will consist of time frames which will keep your attention, which will keep you interested and indulged in the courses. But you from your end have to create the manageable chunks. I think it goes very well when you create a structured calendar for yourself. And I think it's very necessary when you are doing a online when you are doing courses on an online forum, because we as administrators, we as program coordinators, or the faculties won't be able to have a like one-on-one classes with you, right? So we won't know what you are doing. So you are your best teacher. So you have to make that structured calendar, structured chunks, and then you can use digital tools like Evernote or Trello. So what these does is like you can make a small notes for yourself. Like what do you do in a classroom? You get a book, you put some notes inside the books, you highlight all the parts and you keep it. So for this digital tools, how you can invest in this is you can just make small notes about what you want to do the next day, and you can write like if you have finished, if you have completed the task what you wanted to finish. So in that way, it keeps a check on yourself. Like you know what you have accomplished, you know what you have finished, and you know what to do the next day. So every day planning or every weekly planning. So you can use a planner for yourself, which will help you deal with all the things which are based online. So the thing which I'm mentioning constantly is that you have to be your own teacher, because in online teaching we won't be knowing what you are doing from your end. So the only way to motivate you is by giving mails, reminders and everything. But at the end of the day, for finishing your projects, for finishing your assignments, for going through the courses, for going through the videos, you will have to find yourself time, because 14 hours a week might seem easy, but when you're doing it parallelly with another course, you will have that crunch of time. Because I'm sure when I was a student, I was doing one course and I couldn't devote even 1 hour to study, and I got so many scoldings. So devoting 2 hours per day for an online course, which is going parallelly with your offline course, will take some more bit of an effort from your end. And so this comes to the next topic, which is self motivation and discipline. So you will have to be disciplined. You should be like strict with yourself. You should know that 2 hours, okay, per day I will be giving to this course. So the courses won't be given like you will won't be given 6 courses at one go or something. So you will have time for course specific objectives. You will have course specific motivation to finish it, or module specific. So you will exactly know what are the modules you have to cover within this, or what are the upcoming assignment times, assignment dates, so that you can complete it timely. Because time from our end is very important and we always try to maintain that. So if you don't finish something on time, so there is high chance you won't be given extra time. So based on that, you should be very careful. And one thing which is slightly it's an advantage also and also disadvantage. Advantage is that you can do it from anywhere, right? So you might be in the mountains doing the course, right? So essentially it's like our work from home. So you will be studying from home. So but you need to have a place where you can do it without distractions, because home course and stuff will keep you involved. So you need to find time for doing this, because you won't be coming to colleges. You won't be coming anywhere to study this. You will be studying entirely at home. So your home area, a place to study, should be the most important factor for you to study. Like in the same place every day you're going and studying. So it should be like a routine which you have mapped out in your everyday life. So we have found out that there are many questions which have been coming up. So you can note it down that we have taken a note of the same, and we have made a document of the frequently asked questions, and you will be given an onboarding course very soon after the orientation ends, after the all the three orientation ends. And in that onboarding course, you will be given the uh, answer to all your queries, most of your queries, how to register and every other stuff. Tomorrow also there is a time slot where you will be told about how to register on the platform. Like your Outlook isn't working, so why isn't it working? What are the best practices you should do for following all those? So I think it should sum up all the doubts which you have. That's all from my end. Hope you have a wonderful learning curve ahead, and I'm sure you will like whatever we have got to offer you. Thank you. Over to you, Jacob.
Thank you so much, Rishabh. I hope all of our students have gained a lot from your session. I'm sure that they will incorporate all your suggestions and how exactly to learn like a digital nomad. So thank you once again, Rishabh. I'd like to invite Professor Suresh Bhagwatullah to take the session on the academic journey. Professor, over to you.
Yeah. Hi, good evening, everyone. Um, Great to be here again after a nice inauguration that we did yesterday. So there have been lots of questions in terms of what is the course, how is it working out, what should you all be doing, right? So to begin with, this is a completely online course, which means that recorded lessons will be provided to you at a regular interval. We're not opening up the entire course, all courses at the same time. We felt it's important to have a structured, staggered way in which you get introduced to the course. So every week or every couple of weeks, we're going to tell you, we will open up a new set of courses for that term. So we would expect you to finish and learn, read the reading material, and then watch the video or whatever instructions the faculty member may have said, right? So management education to an extent is slightly different from engineering or science or any other let's say math, physics. So content-based, not that there is no content, I'm not really getting the right word, but management education, a little bit vocational and applied, unlike mathematics or statistics or physics or chemistry, where there's quite a bit of learning that you need to go through in terms of functionality. While we do have courses like statistics, accounting, where you will have to spend a lot of time, but there are courses like entrepreneurship or marketing, which is a little bit intuitive. You will be able to get it. But you will have to engage in conversations with yourself, engage in discussion boards, putting your opinion forward. Or maybe, okay, let me say there are courses where there are right answers and there are courses where there are no right answers. So if you ask, should we do something, then there are multiple opinions. Like, for instance, if you say, will Apple survive? It's a big company. Will it survive? A lot of you will say yes, given that it is such a large company, it's unlikely it will survive. Unlikely that it will go down. But we don't know. There have been some really large ventures that have gone down. Nokia, for instance, Kodak, many companies, like if you look at Motorola, they invented the mobile phone. They invented the mobile phone. How could they go out of business or be acquired? So in management, it is an always evolving content until somebody does something new, right? So there are no rules of engagement that are sacrosanct, right? So you will have to think about them. You will have to engage with others. You may have to listen to some of those videos and talks, because it's a very fascinating topic. It's a very interesting and fascinating topic. This entire construct of commerce is very fascinating, interesting topic, right? And nobody is a master of the markets. Nobody is the master of economy. Nobody is master of capitalism, right? It's a constant, ever-evolving entity where somebody young may have a brilliant idea. Somebody with a lot of money may not even survive, right? So if you look at Instagram, YouTube, WhatsApp, Facebook, OpenAI, they are not started by incumbent large firms. They started by some upstart individuals, young people with a lot of attitude saying that I'm going to disrupt this particular industry, right? Sometimes it's true, sometimes it isn't. So therefore, when you're engaging in management education, do realize that there are certain rules of engagement that we have emerged based on cumulative learning. When they say 4 P's in marketing or forces in strategy, so what does it mean? If I don't follow those rules, will I fail? No. Will I follow those rules? Will I succeed? Maybe, right? So it is a cumulated set of knowledge that we have acquired over the years by observing empirical activities. So we do have certain frameworks. We do have certain insights into how things are done. We do have an understanding why somebody is doing something in order, because there is certain element of causality, that A causes B. And that's what we want to work with, right? We want to work. And that particular business is kind of divided into a whole bunch of stuff. You have marketing, you have finance, you have operations, you have what I would say, branding, org culture. All of them, we split them up, but technically they belong to the same company. So we kind of deconstructed the company along these various entities, and we're getting you deeper into all of this in the hope that cumulatively you'll have to put together and say that this is what companies are, this is what firms are, this is how firms play the game, and things like that, right? Because future is uncertainty, and how do I play this uncertain game? So go with that mindset. Go with that mindset that like superbly curious about what is marketing. Right? We go to open with marketing. What exactly is marketing? Why should we understand marketing? And therefore, the professor is going to tell you all and talk about certain frameworks, talk about certain examples, talk about certain advertisements, certain strategies, right? So in a way, it is interesting because you can look at it and go to a medical store and see what is this marketing strategy. Could be, oh, I'll deliver home. Oh, when it comes, I'll bring it to you. So every single entity, your roadside ladies selling flowers that your mother goes and buys from, they have a lovely engagement. They talk about this and that. Trust kind of develops, right? So trust is a very interesting construct that businesses need to have, right? And that's what brands are. It's trust, right? I trust Tatas not to mess with my lives, right? So similarly, when you go talk to this lady, when talk to your mother, she has a preferential places to go buy from. What is the marketing strategy that the person used, which you can learn from your class? So if you start to reflect and look at whatever is being done in the class and look at the world outside and see, okay, what does this mean? Then you are engaging and that starts to become more interesting, right? So while we have discussion boards, you could put up questions. What is the strategy for a pushcart vendor? What is the strategy for Big Basket now that Zepto has come in? Should they worry about Zepto or say that, you know what, Zepto is going to only work in like 3 or 4 cities. Most other cities, 10-minute delivery is no big deal because the city itself is 10 minutes. That in 10 minutes, if I go to Vizag, I'm from Vizag, I just walk down the road and finish all my shopping. I don't need to think like in Bangalore, go plan, oh, I'm going to spend like half a day, go here, go there. So should Big Basket worry about it? Or Big Basket say that, no, what? We don't want these upstarts. We don't know what we're going to do next. And therefore, we don't work with them, right? So have those questions in mind. You should ask each other those questions because learning doesn't have to necessarily come from faculty members and management. A lot of learning comes from peer thoughts. So you put up questions in discussion.